Good morning, YouTube. It's July the 30th, Saturday, early here in San Francisco. Hot off the presses, there's breaking news. Donnie McClurkin took a woman to the Stellar Awards. That's what I said. Well, what's the breaking news? This silly man, this silly dude. Okay, so I'm sure we all know what a press agent is or a press firm. Their job is to keep these celebrities being celebrities. In other words, to keep them in the news. So they've decided now that Don McCurkin took to Twitter to talk about what a wonderful date he had. Now, if you're going to an award show and you're walking the red carpet, of course you're going to walk the red carpet with somebody. That don't mean you're dating. You're in love. What dating? Dating. You took somebody to Stellar Awards. You called somebody up with one of your girlfriends up and went to Stellar Awards. So this man, you know, I would hate to be a cell in Donnie McClurkin's brain. He's still trying to sell us his package that he is a delivered changed man. All right. So ordinarily, I would say that let sleeping dogs lie. The story is dead. We all know Donnie McClurkin is a self-loathing homosexual. Let it go. Ordinarily, I would say that, but I don't have no respect for Donnie McClurkin. I really don't. I wish I could have roasted him back in the days when he was giving all this hate speech and so forth. I wasn't on YouTube then. But wait a minute, I gotta holler at the dog. Wait a minute. Shut the hell up, dog! Stop it! Come here, Diddy Bone. Okay, that dog needs a lot of attention. Anyway, so I wish I would have roasted you when you were doing this hate speech and getting on stage for thousands of people and calling us vampires and all kind of predators and child molesters and all these horrible things. I guess that was several years ago that you would go on a rant and then confuse all these damn teenagers even more than they already are confused. So this is like it's not confusing enough already when you start to discover who you are. All this based on the fact that apparently one of your uncles raped you when you was a child. Now you kind of convinced us now that this man raped you when you was a child, and then you had a desire to get sucked dick and get fucked in the ass for the next 40 years. That's not how it works, dude. Talk to a fool. You can talk to all these people who don't know anything about it. Listen, in the streets, straight guys have sex all the time with guys. Young guys have sex all the time. They go hustle, they go work it, and whatever they do. They don't have desire to now that they're getting fucked all over the country, all over the world for the next 30, 40 years. It's just an act. It ain't all that. Yes, of course it's wrong that somebody molested someone else. Of course it confuses their mind even more. But it's not connected to being gay. It ain't. It's just that person abused you. You already gay. You're already gay, and now you're blaming this man for making you gay. It's like all these stupid ass people on the street. Oh, who turned you out? Nobody turns nobody out. That's some kind of, I don't know. I guess if you took a man and hit him in the head with a club and then put a dress on him and then he'd be turned out. I doubt he'd be doing that though when he leaves your presence for the next 40, 50 years. Anyway, so you went to the Stellar Awards. First of all, you announced several months ago that you were now interested in dating. You're 56 years old now. Part of the sex drive already shot out, so you ain't gonna have to worry about doing too much because you ain't doing that much anyway. I mean, I know I'm 58. My sex drive is been in hiatus for a long, long, long time. So you ain't doing no major accomplishment. Jimmy, stop, please. Uh, so now, of course, you can go and be in a relationship with a woman. She ain't gonna get none. And listen here, even if there's even a granule of truth to this story, you looking for a woman and all that, don't do that to somebody. Don't settle that woman down to some gay man who's never gonna do the bangy bangy with her. You know, you probably have to use a pump to even get it up. Just accept who you are, man. I mean, most likely the ship is already sailed anyway. But that don't change who you are. I stopped having sex years ago, a few years, 5, 6 years ago. I didn't stop me from being who I am. Still who I am. Still. So this dude raped you when you was a kid, and you've been trying to convince these straight people that you delivered ever since. Were you part of that organization, ex-gays and all that? Then the leaders of the movement start falling in love with each other, and now they're no longer ex-gays. They're I guess they're returned to ex-gays or whatever all that stuff is. Let all that foolishness go, man, and just accept you. You know, you say you believe in God. Okay. What, God was drunk that day and all these gay people just popped up out of nowhere? It's built into nature. It's a part of nature. You're homosexual. That is your nature. That is your nature. That is your nature. Nature. You believe in God. You believe he invented the eyeball. He also invented the gay. He would have to. Where did it come from? Anyway, you're a sad person. So I don't have a lot of respect for you. So I don't feel bad about drugging all this stuff up again. So when I saw this story, I was talking about you. You take the woman down. You're 56. Don't you think it's about it would have happened a little sooner than this, Donnie McClurkin? You said you've been claiming to be delivered for being a homosexual for 20 years. So there you probably went to the Stellar Awards with somebody. Silly person. All right, so you got somebody that walked the red carpet with you. Let me tell you something. If I was going to Stellar Awards, the Grammy Awards somewhere, I was going to take an award. Of course, I'm going to call somebody to walk the carpet with me. You ain't going to do it with a man like you want to, like you would, the deepest part of you would desire to do. So, of course, you're going to take somebody that's just calling one of your girlfriends and walking the carpet. Don't be out here trying to pretend like, I'm straight now and all this kind of. What do you think they're going to throw you out of your church unless you continually prove to them that you are on their side, that you are one of them? It's a different kind of cooning, but it's still cooning. It's really the same thing. I mean, it's not involved with uh, uh, color or race. It's involved with sexuality. You go in there with these people and you want to be one of them. You love church. You want to be high up in church community. You want their respect, and you want them. You feel like you have to convince them that you're one of them. I mean, most people would not even give a shit. We all know gospel singers is queens. It's not breaking news, McCurkin. Anyway. But you have had to tame some of your hate speech and your mental illness. You have to stop blessing us with all that stuff because when they canceled that concert, I think that was the downward spiral. It's the beginning of the downward spiral because I thought it was so cute when Washington told you, oh no, baby, you ain't bringing that shit here. We're trying to unite people, connect people, and we want to deal with reality. We don't no longer want to be over here in religious never land. And they told your ass, don't come here with that bullshit. All right, so you walk the carpet. It don't mean anything. Okay, you announced on Instagram. You announced on Instagram that you went on a date. How foolish is this? Don't you feel silly? More than likely that you're going to be promoting this woman. She's a Nicole Mullen. She's they call her a Christian singer. You want to promote her so she can connect with you, and because you have a name in gospel music industry, you can get both of your names in the news for that day, a couple of days, whatever. But uh, anyway, you announced it on Instagram. He and Yolanda Adams. Now you would know Yolanda Adams just for 30 years. And you want to go on here and talk about, me and Yolanda dated. Okay. You dated one time in 30 years, which means you showed up somewhere one time in 30 years. And we both believe that you were dating Yolanda Adams, huh? Don't be a silly person, man. They ain't gonna throw you out the church. Just keep your mouth shut. Keep the hell quiet, honey. You have a son and daughter. I don't know the story there. I don't go running my mouth. Somebody I don't know nothing about. But you all just propounded of a traditional marriage. And, man with a woman belongs together and all this kind of stuff. Yet you have two kids. You're a single parent, and you've never been married. Now, how you get children outside of marriage? So even if the kids are adopted, aren't they still supposed to have a mother according to your theology, your religious beliefs? So that they're just raised by you. You've never been married, but it's okay for you because you figure out a way to justify whatever you do. You know, Don McCurkin. Your story is just. I have this story. Empty the story. I got a great story. It just dawned on me. I should go and pull it out. All right. So I've been away from Indianapolis. I'm from Indianapolis, Indiana, for years. Right. I have a sweet grandmother. Okay. She hadn't seen me in years, years, years. I've been out in California being a dope fiend, acting a fool for years. So I come back to Indianapolis to visit, right? And so she was over at my mother's house. Uh, so anyway, I hadn't seen her for years, right? And I had written this book, Meth Monster, that told her all about my experience. I didn't leave anything out of that. So I thought she would be shocked, but she wasn't. She thought it was a great story because it ended in my deliverance from drugs, not from me, from drugs. Anyway, so we go over to my mother's house, and she said, she was all excited about seeing me and all that. She said, "Baby, I left something for you out in the car." I said, "Oh, out in the car. Oh, maybe she bought me something nice, or a big check in there. She didn't want all the other family members to see or anything." I go out to her car out in the snow, and what she got me, she gave me Donnie McClurkin's book. I thought that was so. It still tickles me. Donnie McClurkin's book about how he done been delivered from homosexuality. You see what you done to these people's minds. You've let them. You got these people believing that people are going to stop being who God made them to be based on some damn hula you done did because you speaking these words and stuff. We need to get an interpreter and get somebody a interpreter of tongues and figure out what the hell you talking about. You always go that ain't tongues. Tongues you're supposed to speak in another. People are supposed to understand you in their language. You supposed to speak. It's supposed to sound like Chinese or something else. That I didn't want to get into try to break that down again. But what you're doing is just making. I guess you could call it spiritual talking. I don't know this gibberish you're always doing. Somebody needs to figure out what all that means, and I hope they do. Uh, some interpreter will arise and start deciphering some of the stuff y'all doing. Y'all presenting as speaking in tongues. All right, so I couldn't read the book. I could only read a few pages. When you start going in about all these vipers and church and vampires and calling people, oh, everybody's a pervert because your uncle was a pervert. No, your uncle, your family member is a pervert. And he should have been arrested. We should not all have to suffer because your uncle is a pervert and needs to be arrested. And you didn't call the police on him. You didn't tell anybody about that. But yet you blame that, but that's why you sucking dick for the next 40 years. It's very offensive, Donnie McClurkin. And I don't give a goddamn. I do not care if you took Yolanda and this woman, whatever her name is, and six other women to the Stellars. That does not make you heterosexual. You know it. You would have been married by now. You thought you could pull it off. You don't want to invite nobody into them coins because you know it's headed for disaster. The thing is, so it doesn't make it. I wouldn't give a damn if you had 12 kids. It's not going to change your nature. Except nature. That's the thing about religion. You got this book that you're reading, and it doesn't even allow for reality. You won't the reality what's in front of you. Obviously, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people are not just pretending to be gay. Come on, McClurkin. You supposed to roll up more than this by now. Anyway, I imagine you're a pretty miserable person because it's like even though you're cooning for these people, and and you're I don't know what you got to get another word for cooning when it doesn't involve race or it involves sexuality because you're over there trying to convince them that you're one of them. Even though you're doing all that, that's not going to change your desires, though. Even if you decide, okay, I'm not sucking no more dicks, I'm not getting fucked in the ass no more, and sneaking, creeping, wearing disguises, go out in the streets and sneaking and creeping with these people, I'm not going to do that no more. You could do that. You could. I don't have sex, but that's not going to give you desire for a woman. What you best you could have is a friendship. I think you could, if you want to be with a woman that bad, you could come up with a relationship where she loves you as a friend and you love her as a friend, and y'all can make a relationship, pay the bills together and all that kind of stuff, but it's not real. I mean, it's not It's not real. It's pretending. It's a relationship. So if you want to go ahead and do that, you on there all on Instagram talk about how you got financial security and should never want for nothing and all the world loves you and all, advertising to get you a wife. Be careful, McClurkin. Okay, I don't know how many coins you got left. You know that voice ain't pumping it like it used to. So be careful with them coins, okay? Because when she locked in, when she signs on the dotted line, unless she's dumb enough to sign a prenup, you locked in, and she's taking half of that at the minimum. So play all you want to, play all the games you want to. Go to Stellars with some date. Talking about you dating women now. I don't know who you're trying to impress. I don't know who you're trying to impress, honey. We've all let this story go. We can all say, okay, this man has got grave emotional and mental difficulty. But you know, you want to always throw it up in our face. That damn concert you gave that time, boy, if I could commit murder. That time when you ever told all them teenagers, oh my God, it's about people, everybody's a vampire, everybody's a pervert, everybody's a child molester and all this kind of stuff. No, your uncle was a predator and a child molester. You're a family member. You're supposed to deal with that person, not us. Don't hate us. The truth told, my feeling, you've always been gay. You've been gay since the day they spit you out. You've always been gay. This man came along at the wrong time because he molested a child, interfered with your natural progression. Because you would have still been ended up on all them dicks and all that getting fucked in the ass and all that. That would have all happened anyway. So he confused you. He did a wrong thing. Should have let you just find yourself, discover yourself in a natural way, and maybe you wouldn't be as screwed up as you are right now. This story, I mean, of course you got a right to go walk the red carpet with somebody you want to, but the point is, I think that I just don't have any respect for you as a person. I have respect for you as a singer. I love gospel music, and I even tell you my deepest secret. I even listen to you because it's great music, you know. But singing music it's got nothing to do with who you are as a person. I just don't have respect for you as a person, you know. So there's that anyway. So there's the breaking news. Donnie McClurkin called some woman up and said, "Will you walk the red carpet with me?" That's the dating. Silly person.